picking up from when we left off last time, we set up our main index page for our simple blog. We set up the pagination of it. We set the links. We set the excerpt length. So now let's go ahead and set up the post page. So let's go ahead and open up Dreamweaver, and let's start off with this. Since we're passing the variable off and the link to the post page via get, you can see right down here at the bottom it'll be post ID equals 2. Okay, so if we click that, post equals 2. So let's go ahead and set up an if statement. If is not set, get ID. Let's kick the visitor to the index page. Okay, so this would just prevent people trying to to visit the post page itself, and if they did that, it wouldn't display anything. So we're just going to go ahead and send them back to the index page. Okay, else, so if there is, or if it is set, we'll set the variable, call it ID equals get ID. Okay. Alright, now we need our database connection. So includes DB connect. Okay. Let's check to see if that worked. Okay. Alright. So let's make some other foolproof for checking to make sure the ID is actually a number, because we know that all the IDs are numbers. So let's do this. If is numeric. Okay, so this checks to see if the ID is actually a number. So let's just say if not numeric. Yet again, we'll just go ahead and send the visitor to the index page. Okay, so let's save this. Let's go ahead and try this. Okay, suppose ID equals ABC. Boom. See, it sends it right there. Let's just go to post.php. Sends it there. Now I'm going to click one of these links. Since the ID is set and it equals an integer, it equals a number, okay, we can stay on the page. Alright, so now let's build our query. So what we're going to do is select, let's do title, and the body from post, where post ID equals ID. Okay, and now we can run a query, call it query. Okay, and we just put this variable right in there, so it would run that. Okay, so now we gotta check to make sure that the ID is actually found in the database. So we can just do something simple, like just for error checking to see if everything works. Let's do a numbers. I'm gonna echo that out. So if I refresh this page, we should have one. It should only be one for each ID. So now we can go ahead and do this. If query numbers is exactly one, we'll run a block of code here. And then we can do an else statement. You know what? No, let's do like this. If it doesn't equal one, yet again, we'll just go ahead and kick the user to the index page. Because if there's no blog post, there's no need to have somebody on this page. So we can go ahead and save that. Refresh. Okay, let's do one. Just put a big number in there. Nope. We know that there's no ID for that, so we send them back to the index page. Okay. So all of this would run before the actual HTML. So let's go ahead and work on the HTML now. Oh, seems that there we go. Okay, close the PHP off. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do a simple container. Okay, do another div. Get this, the post ID. Okay. So since we're just going to be we're not going to be looping through the database to grab the information for the post, we can just do this. Row equals query fetch object. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're keeping this simple, so we can echo out H2 row title. Okay. Then echo P for paragraph, row, body. Okay. So save that. Refresh. There we go. So that's the blog post. Okay. So now we can go back to here. Let's check out this one. Okay, so we know that works. Now we can do, let's put a horizontal rule to separate this. We can do div ID. Let's go ahead and do add comments. Okay, we just need a form, action. It's going to be a self-submitting form, so I'm going to do PHP echo server, and we're going to do PHP self. Okay, and I'm using that because we want to make sure, because these pages are dynamic, and instead of entering, making a page for each page, this will grab all the variables on the page that's going to be being used, like the get variable, like the ID, which we're going to need. So we're just going to do it like that, and we need this to be a method post. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a simple form. Well, let's go ahead and go into our database and check out what we're going to need for the comments. Okay, comments is going to need the post ID, email address, name, and the comment. Alright, so we need 4 fields. The post ID is already generated for us, so now we just need to go ahead and get these from the page visitor, the person leaving the comments. So let's go ahead and minimize this, like that. So we can do label, email address, input, type text, name, email. Okay, what else do we need? Email, name, comment. Okay, so let's do a label for name, okay, okay, so the name for that will be simple name. Okay, and then we can do label, comment. Okay, and the comment, we're going to do its text area. Okay, all right, let me add some real quick stylings to this to make it look a little bit better. Okay, just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh this. Okay. Alright, oh, forgot the submit button. Okay, so now that we have the form, we need to go ahead and submit it to the database. So, just 1 second. Okay, So we can go back up here, and we can do if set post. Okay, so this will only run if the submit button is clicked. Okay, so if this is not found, it's not going to run. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let's see, email will equal post email, name equals post name, comment equals post comment. Okay. Alright, so let's do some very simple validation. If email and name and comment block there, else echo error. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to go ahead and do super validation on this because this is just a tutorial on how to get a simple blog up and running. So I'm not going to do a regular expression to check to see if this is a valid email, or check the comment length to make sure, say, if it's under 140 characters or less. If you want something like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and then I'll go ahead and revisit that later. But for sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and just do it simply just like this. Alright, so one thing I will do, though, is make sure everything is escaped. Let me go ahead and save that. There we go. So we'll escape all the strings. Okay, and comment. Okay, so let's go ahead and input this in the database. So go if add comment equals prepare insert into comments and then we need it's going in name post ID email comment. Okay. Values 1, 2, 3, 4. Else echo error. Okay, so So let's go ahead and do add comment, bind parameters, adding 4 strings. Okay. So we need name. Now the post ID will just be ID because we got that from our URL. So let's go ahead and actually add ID equals and escape that string also, just in case. Can never be too safe. Okay. Alright, so these are the variables we're going to be binding to these question marks. Yet again, I always recommend using the prepared statements when you're accepting data from users because it's safer, it does it faster, and yet again, it's safer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and execute the query. Okay, so if this runs, we know all this is going to run. So we can go ahead and do thank you, comment was added. Okay, save that, refresh this, submit. Okay, I figured out a simple fix for this. Even though I know I shouldn't have to do this, but for this tutorial it seems to be for some reason it's giving me a problem, so I'm gonna add this ID equals okay. So go right here. Okay, so I've added this quick little fix right here, which is going to make sure that the ID variable is set for the page. Okay, so if I hit submit, error. Okay, so email@email.com. Name, let's just do Bobby. Comment, my first comment. Submit. Okay, found another simple error. It wasn't called email, it was email add. So let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, see if the comment was added. Let's go ahead and database table, refresh. Okay. Alright, well, you can see right here, I have my variables mixed up. So this should be ID, name. Okay. So we'll go ahead and refresh. Back here. So everything works now. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on displaying the comments. So let's go ahead and end this. Okay. Come down here. Okay, so we do comments. Okay, so we can go ahead and do like this, simple dump. Query equals, okay, query equals DB query select everything from comments where post ID equals ID. Okay, so just do a quick simple while loop, row equals query fetch objects. Okay, we do that, and the while loop here. Okay, so we're gonna do div. You can do h5 PHP echo row name. Okay, and do block quote PHP echo row comment. Okay, do order by comment ID. I'm going to do it descending. Okay. Okay, save that. So if I go ahead and go here, okay, so the comment was added right here, so this is where it's going to display. Alright, so that's going ahead and it's going to end this tutorial on how to make a simple blog post. If you want more advanced add-ons, just leave it in the comment section. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. A like would be very appreciated. And thank you.